What can we expect from Tesla in the upcoming year? I believe there are enough connections between some of the things that Tesla will be doing in the future. I know that many of you are thinking, who cares about the next year or so? But I'm holding out until 2030, and by then, Tesla will obviously be much bigger, selling 20 million vehicles annually, for example. Even though Elon still says that Tesla will reach 20 million vehicles annually by 2030, I don't think that will happen at this point because I like to analyze Tesla from all timelines, whether it's the next quarter or the next decade. For example, right now, the only way I can see for it to get there is for it to solve the 4680 sales problem and reach high-volume production. Right now, they're only at about 2% of the target from battery day. That's the intended outcome instead. I've become much more accurate because I've learned to make predictions about the future based on what I can see happening, rather than what we are told. However, you're still right when you consider how much further Tesla will have advanced by 2030, how much more common EVs will be, how much better the infrastructure for charging will have become, more service centers, better batteries, lower cost EVs, etc. Don't get me wrong. I would love it if Tesla could reach 20 million annually. It would be much more exciting if I believed that, but even if some of you do, I don't have the evidence I need to believe that. There are many of us in this community, and we all have different goals and objectives. Some of us have invested in Tesla for much longer than others. If there's a chance that the price of the stock rises to 400 or 500, some investors may take profits. That's plenty for them. Some may even be in their 70s, for goodness sake. In any case, the Model 3 Highland has finally been unveiled, and we can pretty much figure out most of the details. We would assume the costs are down somewhat, and we can see the prices up. I think I'm being a little conservative when I say this has increased margins by as much as 5%, and I hope to see a similar increase when tests are conducted. The fanboys are claiming that costs may be saved by as much as 15, and all of their math seems to be based on that. I used the same procedure with the Model Y. This extra margin, along with perhaps a boost in production, is all that's needed. Delivery over that comparable time frame following the removal of OPEX will be quite important. We're hearing that Tesla's new mega pack factory in Shanghai is expected to break ground this month and be in production within about 9 months after that. Based on the progress at Lathrop, we can't say that this is something we should be excited about. But why would Tesla bother starting a new mega pack factory in Shanghai if Lathrop was operating at such a low capacity? My theory is that Megapacks will be using the lowest quality cells that Tesla has that are not particularly energy dense. Anyway, we could actually see profits double by the time all of this kicks in, assuming Cybertrap doesn't take too much away from profits. About 30 gigawatt-hours of capacity are still available annually at Tesla's Lakefront Megapack factory. The only company building a factory of that size is Cadle, except Cadle has already built one. Rumor has it that Cadle will be building its new cell, which is one step closer to LMFP cell chemistry by using a hybrid cathode that includes LMFP but doesn't use nickel or cobalt, which is always good to see. It's frustrating not to be able to get more information as to what Cadle is doing there. But look, they built the factory right next door to Jigate. Shouldn't take a genius to figure out who these cells are because there might even be enough of them available for Tesla to use the proceeds from these sales to build a new Powerwall at a much lower cost. This could transform the power industry from one that is for luxury or convenience into one that actually saves money with a respectable return on investment in many markets, which would greatly increase demand. At this point, I think it's safe to assume that this new CHL factory has better, that is, more incident sales than the current LUP sales. We're hearing supposedly 10 more energy density, which would mean Tesla's current battery could go from 60 kilowatt-hours to 66 kilowatt-hours with the same weight and probably similar volumetric density improvements as well. As I'm saying, any identity doesn't matter if it's storage. Please bear with me. If this new Megapack factory is going to be operational in 9 months, where are the cells coming from? Since there aren't any new factories being built to produce these old LFP cells. Or, to put it another way, the cells that are going into the current rear-wheel drive model. However, what if in 9 months or roughly Q2 2024, Tesla updates the Model Y and uses a new structural battery pack that has 66 kilowatt-hours and actually weighs less because it is structural? Then it incorporates all the other efficiencies that Tesla has utilized to enhance the Model 3, and the rear-wheel drive Model Y may very well also be approaching the 300-mile mark. The range figures appear significantly better at 300 miles when compared to even 299. This is a significant factor and will indicate that consumers are willing to pay more. However, this battery shouldn't actually cost much more than $1,000 more than the previous one, and Tesla has hopefully saved an additional $3,000 on the refresh. Nobody is even close to competing with this. Additionally, this battery should provide enough range for Tesla to sell the rear-wheel drive Model Y in the US and earn all those additional credits and subsidies. Tesla would completely dominate the midsize and luxury electric crossover markets. Well, they already do, but this takes it a step further. Tesla is a stoic company. They don't worry about comparing themselves to competitors and trying to outperform them. Instead, they compare themselves to the current Tesla models and strive to improve that. Oh, and what about Hyundai? They're doing a good job, but their range is terrible, and they lose thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, in net profit on each vehicle they sell. Additionally, their cars are so expensive that they can hardly break even on each sale. Advantage very quickly throughout their range, even with structural battery packs. It is clear that this expansion is quite important. It's critical to acknowledge that Elon has won the respect of a diverse array of individuals. He inspires everyone, whether they are business owners or environmentalists, entrepreneurs, or simply ardent techies and engineers. With an amazing 30 million people follow Twitter, Musk can proudly showcase features and convey significant messages to his enormous following with only one tweet. Tesla has the unique ability to reach a big audience for free, thanks to CEO Elon Musk. Tesla's army of committed customers is its real hidden weapon, not just the company's social media acumen. Their combined value is probably in the billions, making them a formidable force in the automotive industry, while other automakers struggle to remain competitive. Musk's 30 million followers dwarf those of any other automaker CEO. Still can't compete with Tesla Model Y and Model 3. Increasing margin is a huge deal given that they account for about 90% of Tesla sales and likely 80% of all revenue generated by the company. The remaining business is essentially superfluous, especially since it isn't even very profitable or genuinely experiences a financial loss. Similar to solar, hopefully, the new Model Y refresh will boost demand to such an extent that even with the ramp in Texas and Berlin, Tesla will still be able to turn a profit of about 20% on that vehicle. This is assuming that current interest rates remain low. If ASP is $40,000, which translates to a gross profit of just over $20 billion from all factories, then all those sales from the Model Y will go into the energy storage business. So this would all be completely certain. It's possible that Tesla could have used this new battery pack in the Model 3 Highland, but then the Rebel Drive's range would end up to be about 330 miles, cannibalizing the longer range version, and 300 miles is more than sufficient for the rear. Excellent given that price range. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe and give it a thumbs up.